Hello everyone. In this video, we will be going through how to create a custom object in Salesforce. So over here, I'm in setup, and if you don't know how to go to setup, simply whenever you log in, you click on this gear icon and you click on setup, it will bring you to this screen. Next, you you're supposed to be in this home tab. You see this button right here, create. Click on this, it'll bring out a drop down menu. You can create a custom object from here, or you can click on Object Manager and see this create button right here. Click on this and click on Custom Object. I know there's another option over here, but for now it's not relevant. So let's just click on Custom Object right here. So it will take us to the screen and we'll have to provide all the relevant information. For now, let's assume we want to create a separate object to store information about our suppliers. Let's say we have standard objects to store information for our clients, our contacts, and products and everything. But now we want to store information from our supplier, the people who we buy from, uh, before we sell it to our customers, right? So just an example, a hypothetical example in this case. So I'm going to call this supplier, and plural label is going to be suppliers, of course. And the object name, as you see, gets automatically populated based on our labels. We don't need to do anything. This name is used in Salesforce development. You will be covering this in this course later on. And this checkbox right here that you see, start with vowel sound. This is particularly for mobile app users who are using Salesforce mobile app, or for users who use the Salesforce voice command features. But for now, it's not very relevant, so we're just going to leave it as is. We can provide a description. We can say this is not all these fields in red are mandatory, and the other fields are optional, right? So description is optional, but we'll just say an object to store supplier information. Yes, a simple description. You can write whatever you want, of course. And next, we will just keep it standard, the one selected by default that opens standard Salesforce. Uh, the other option is if we have a customized developed page for this object. For now, it's not relevant. You'll probably cover this up in the future in development course. So we can just leave it as is standard. Record name automatically gets populated, supplier name, right? So whenever we create an account, uh, it there's a required field called account name. That's your record name. In this case, automatically they populate it as supplier name. We can edit this if we'd like. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. Data type is supposed to be text. Auto number is when you need this object to automatically assign a number. For example, whenever you create a supplier, it automatically assigns a number, which can be treated as an auto ID. In this case, we will just be choosing text because we're going to give our supplier a name. We don't want to associate with them with a random automatically generated number. So we're just going to go ahead and move on with text. All these optional features such as allow reports, allow activities, and track field history, allow in chatter groups. All of this you will be covering in the later on in this course. For now, let's select them all so that this object is available throughout Salesforce in the reports, activities, and everywhere else. Next, object classification. This we'll leave these checkboxes selected as is. These are advanced development features. You may cover this later on in a development course. The status, deployment status, will be deployed because when we save this object, we want this object to be live and functioning. So we will simply click on deployed. This means anyone can now start creating records for this object. Allow search. This lets you search for this object in the global search bar provided in Salesforce. In this case, let's allow it. In some cases, you may not want it to be searchable, but generally, you will be checking this box off. So for now, we've checked this box off. And lastly, creation options. Add notes and attachments. Launch new custom tab wizard when saving this custom object. What this first checkbox will do is it will attach a notes and attachments component in our object, which will allow us to upload documents for any record that we create for our supplier object. And this will simply take us to a new custom tab when we save the supplier object. For now, let's just leave them blank and let's hit save. And this here will now have our supplier object created. And done. Supplier object. These are all the fields. We will get into this later off in this course.